Hello, we are group number 18, and we will be discussing PepsiCo's marketing strategy. This video has been created as our final project for the BCOR 3040 curriculum at the University of Utah's Eccles School of Business. PepsiCo's success and ability to generate nearly $80 billion in revenue derives from its highly effective marketing mix. Pepsi utilizes retailers, online merchandisers, and distribution centers that have the ability to sell products directly to consumers or through third parties that buy at wholesale. The majority of PepsiCo's revenue comes from these wholesale purchasers. Companies like Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, and Kroger generate the most revenue for Pepsi. PepsiCo's promotional mix is driven by four key factors: advertising, direct marketing, sales promotion, and public relations. Factors such as competitive pricing, innovative packaging, and brand appeal allow PepsiCo to continue to flourish in a competitive market and generate tens of billions in revenue every year. Marketing mix. Product. PepsiCo has 23 different brands. These brands include Pepsi, Lay's, Quaker, Gatorade, 7-Up, Doritos, Cheetos, and Ruffles. They also have international products such as Tortrix. With these products, you're going to get a name brand product that's at a competitive price. And when buying these products, you know you're getting a quality product that you can trust. 45% of the revenue comes from the beverage brands, while the other 55% comes from the food and snack brands. Products packaging are mostly created from plastic, and the design of the package is bright and eye-catching. Products also vary in shapes, sizes, and quantities. Price. In the beverage industry, competitive pricing and lower prices compared to Coca-Cola help in sales. Size alternatives such as larger beverage and quantities give you the ability to purchase more for less. If you buy a larger item, you get a reduced price by overall volume. Tropicana has high price because of the wealthier market orange juice targets. All industries. Wholesalers and distributors get discounts for their buying in bulk. Place. PepsiCo operates in over 200 countries and territories, and their direct store delivery system ensures maximum supply chain availability. It also helps customers know that they're stocked. Third-party distribution ownership helps people operate things like KFC restaurants. They also maximize food chains to promote PepsiCo products, such as having Pepsi in the soda machines. Third-party distribution contracts, like sporting events and stadiums, put PepsiCo products in the hands of the people attending these events. Promotion. A key to PepsiCo's promotion strategy is the use of celebrity endorsements. Celebrities such as Britney Spears, Beyonce, and Michael Jackson, if you remember the hair, have been used in the past. In addition to PepsiCo, they have exclusive rights to the Super Bowl halftime show, which brings in about 100 million viewers every year. Compared to their competitors, Coca-Cola, who use an emotional pull with their promotions, PepsiCo uses a youthful vibe in their promotions. I'm going to pass it on to Stephen now.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm going to talk a little bit about our SWOT analysis of PepsiCo. Some strengths of PepsiCo is they are one of the best global brands. The diversification within the food and beverage industry throughout their company. They're an iconic youthful brand. They have a power of one strategy. On the other hand, some weaknesses is an overdependence on the food and beverage industry. Products are believed to be unhealthy, controversial advertisements which affect them severely, and environmental impacts. Some opportunities we found are product diversification, strengthening alliances and partnerships, expanding operations to new markets, and increasing healthy options. Some threats, other large competitor brands, trade tensions throughout the world, change in demographics throughout PepsiCo and the world and what they like, and government regulations. We're going to go a little bit more into depth into all of these. So first, we're going to go into strengths. So their highly diversified portfolio. PepsiCo owns 23 brands that do over $1 billion in retail sales per year. That is an extraordinary number. These brands cross from just Life Water to Quaker Oats and Sabra hummus. They're so diverse that if one brand is doing poorly, the other brand can then be picked up, so they're all doing well. They also have this youthful brand and style to them, where they target the younger generation, and they always have been doing that. They have stuck to targeting youthful from middle school age to about 30. And they also link how they market in advertisements and their packaging to the youth. So it helps. They use the bright colors, they use celebrities who the youth are attracted to. And this also helps them attract new audiences. As someone gets older, then there's a new audience to replace them. So they always have people in their like consumer base. Another one of their strengths is they're a huge global brand. According to Forbes, they're the 29th most valuable brand in the world in 2022. They're also valued at $18.8 billion right now. They also are the 87th largest company in the world, according to Forbes. They employ over 291,000 employees globally every year. So they always have a firm base wherever they are. And that's from Australia to the United States. They are everywhere throughout the entire world. And they finally use a power of one strategy. So PepsiCo sticks to what they know. They are sticking to the food and snacks and beverage industry. All these companies are all under the PepsiCo umbrella. So as I said earlier, if there's an economic issue or pressure and one is struggling, another one can pick up their like slack. So PepsiCo is always in the right state of mind and always doing well. There can be some issues with this though. So going on to weaknesses is they are debatably over-dependent on the food and beverage industry. PepsiCo has thrown all their eggs into one basket, and that's food and beverages. If there is a huge supply chain issue in food and beverages, PepsiCo's in trouble. They have little flexibility between, like, they can't go and start selling clothing just out of nowhere. Like, they're stuck to the food and beverage. So if there's a huge like world issue, they would be in trouble flexibility-wise. Their products are also perceived as unhealthy. When you think of Pepsi products, you normally think of sugar or high in salt. And they're also known to add chemicals and flavoring to make their products taste better, even though they might not be the best for you. And this is a major issue right now because there's a huge health concern. And if you look at this little graph, in one normal can of Pepsi, there's 41 grams of sugar and 12 fluid ounces. That's a lot of sugar. So where the people are pushing for this new health wave really Pepsi needs to pick it up and change what they're doing. Another issue they've had is controversial advertisements. We all remember the Kendall Jenner advertisement during the 2017 Super Bowl, where it wasn't her fault, but PepsiCo had a brand statement of that Pepsi unifies the police and human rights activists, and it caused a major worldwide outcry, and the stock price dropped, and they were criticized for a couple months, and they still are now. Everyone uses this video into what not to do in marketing. So they need to be a little bit more aware of what they're putting out before they put it out. And also they have a huge environmental impact. PepsiCo is a top 3 plastic producer in the whole world. And they haven't found any ways to really reduce this plastic use. They keep everything's packaged in plastic in some sort of way. So they need to improve recycling efforts in some way. Some opportunities we've found though is that they can diversify their brands. They have a ton of food and beverage brands, but they can diversify into clothing or like a sports brand, because they have just this reach right now that's so powerful that anything they put their hand in, they could really make an impact in. They also need to enhance their alliances and partnerships. PepsiCo, they always have a goal to strengthen their relations with major brands like Starbucks, but they can really harness that full potential and start having Pepsi and Starbucks and only in a Target per se, or they can really enhance these relationships with partners they have to emphasize the importance of the brands. They also need to expand into new markets. as there's an economic influx right now and growth in a lot of markets in Asia, Africa, and South America. So if PepsiCo pushes their products into those new operations, they have a completely new consumer market they can hit and they can grow. As you kind of see in this graph, the first one is Frito-Lay's in North America, and the second one is PepsiCo beverages in North America. And then the third graph is that's all the European sales in 2020. And the next is Latin America. So as you see, like North America is really controlling the sales right now. But as the market is influxing and South America is getting a lot more money, Asia is creating a lot more money, there's these new markets that Pepsi can push their products into, which would really help find a new consumer base. And lastly, increasing healthier options. They have healthier options right now and they're pushing them, but they can really push Quaker Oats and their other healthy brands to show that they're trying to make a change and trying to develop and not just sticking to their sugary products. Lastly, their threats. Obviously, their main threat is their competitors. Coca-Cola is a huge brand. Red Bull is a huge brand. They're constantly fighting Pepsi for market share. And so the profitability due to how PepsiCo can stay in the market share is really affected. And they also, with a change in trade tension right now, especially between the US and China, there's an issue because if they do go to war, two of PepsiCo's main outsources and producers now are in trouble. So they might need to figure out something. So if there is a tension or a trade ban, they can figure out how to not be totally affected. Lastly, changes in demographics. A large portion of Pepsi consumers are youth, as I explained earlier, and there's major swings right now, and so Pepsi needs to adapt quickly. Such in the case in Sweden, the median age was 41.1 years of age for Pepsi last year, and that's not what they're used to. And finally, government regulations. With this new push for healthier products, the governments are stepping in and they're making regulations to be like, you can only have this much junk food and drink this much sugar, or they're going to sanction the brands who are putting out this much sugar. So Pepsi needs to make changes so they don't get completely affected. I'm going to pass it over.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that, Stephen. So for this, the position statement for food and beverage distribution is in need of quality snack and drink products. PepsiCo provides the food and beverage business with customers with refreshing beverages and sustained snacks. Unlike other food and beverages options, PepsiCo products are larger in size and much cheaper in cost. You can look at an example like Coca-Cola. When Pepsi comes out with their typical size cans, they're a little bit bigger at a cheaper price. That way it allows that consumer to decide. Pepsi's short-term marketing plan. So part of their short-term marketing plan, within the next 6 months, PepsiCo is going to shift their whole marketing focus. They're going to go from their big brands like Pepsi and Lay's, and they're going to shift it over to their healthier brands like Quaker, Sabra Hummus, Naked Juice. This brand PepsiCo already has a really wide reach and a wide variety of customers from many different graphics. And with this push, they're going to try to get these customers over to a healthier side and go in and have more interest in more products. I mean, take a look at this graphic here on the right. In the bottom left corner, you see this Naked Juice here. In this bright red, it promotes lean. That's something it wants the customers to see. It wants to see that they have healthy options. So for the marketing mix, the main thing that will be used, as Stephen talked about with PepsiCo's marketing, they emphasize a lot with bright colors. That's the first thing. But the second thing is those influencers. They're always coming in, they're always changing. Whatever the hot topic is, whatever is most popular, whoever's bringing in the most income, that's who Pepsi is going to sign, because those people bring a grasp and they have a following. So moving on, one thing that Pepsi is going to work on is their point of purchase displays, what these are. So example, the World Cup is huge right now. If you put a top player in the World Cup, you put his poster bright up in a grocery store and you promote a product, you say, hey, this player drinks Pepsi, that person already has a following, and that is how Pepsi is trying to get a bigger reach onto these healthier products with using these such people to promote themselves, these influencers. So according to macro trends, PepsiCo net profit margin as of September 30th, 2022 was 11.61%. And this is estimated to increase due to what has been put into the marketing with the celebrity endorsements and what they're working for. As I mentioned before, the reason why Pepsi works so hard on bringing these influencers and people of influence in is because these people have their following. These people have a grasp and people that care about them. And when they're brought on and they enjoy Pepsi products, now those who look up to this influencer will likely consume these products as well. Lastly, before I move on, one thing that Steven said that I want to mention and reiterate is he said PepsiCo is the 29th most valuable company in the United States, along with, I believe it was the 80th largest. So it's within the top 100 of companies for the largest within the United States. And so you just look at those two numbers and you see how big of a grasp PepsiCo has. And so when you bring these influencers who have even more people in, it just combines everything and it just increases PepsiCo's target audience and their reach.
Next, we're going to talk about their long-term marketing plan. So for over the next 5 years, PepsiCo should try to make an acquisition of a sportswear or yoga wear company. This would promote a healthy lifestyle and also diversify the company so that it's not just solely a food and beverage company. Environment changes. The world is changing to a more healthy lifestyle. This includes healthier food and beverage options, sustainable food and beverage options, more gyms being built over the past 5 years, and more home gyms being produced. Consumers are aware that what is going into company products and whether they are healthy or not healthy. Opportunities. PepsiCo can exploit opportunities in product diversification by increasing to diversify their portfolio by adding a clothing brand. This would cause the competition to be reactive rather than proactive. They could also increase the healthy lifestyle options. With this acquisition of the healthy lifestyle clothing brand, they could also push working out in these said clothes and then eating a Quaker Oats snack bar, something that is also owned by PepsiCo. Threats. Competitors would be, this would push competitors a lot. PepsiCo would be the first major food and beverage company to venture into lifestyle clothing. So this would cause competitors to have to react quickly and create something that is equal, if not better than what PepsiCo is doing. There would be changes in demographics. These demographics change every year, but diversifying the company will open the brand to new markets. So when there are shifts in these demographics, PepsiCo can fall back on them and not have to scramble and get something on the fly. There are also government regulations. They have to, if a government wants healthier options, PepsiCo needs to make changes. So if there's, like Ethan said, a sugar ban or anything to that effect, PepsiCo will already have that in line if they pursue this line.
Thank you, Noah. We're going to be talking about some positioning changes at PepsiCo. PepsiCo could position itself as a brand that cares about health and wellness by the acquisition of a yoga and athletic clothing company. This would allow PepsiCo to market itself as a one-stop shop for all health and wellness needs and differentiate itself from other food and beverage brands by owning an athletic company that offers high-quality, stylish clothing. Imagine a collaboration between Quaker Oats, between Gatorade. The acquisition could also help PepsiCo position itself as a more diverse and versatile company with a broader range of products that appeal to a wider audience. Marketing mix changes. In terms of product, PepsiCo could expand its product line to include athletic clothing and accessories. In terms of price, PepsiCo could implement pricing strategies that reflect the quality and performance of its clothing. They can offer promotions and discounts. In terms of place, PepsiCo could expand its distribution channels to include athletic clothing and stores and online retailers. Think of Dick's, eBay, Amazon. In terms of promotion, PepsiCo could launch marketing campaigns that showcase the benefits and performance of its clothing. They can be the clothing provider for different sports teams and colleges. So they supply the food and beverages as well as the clothing for players, as well to resell in stores. Overall, this acquisition could provide PepsiCo with the opportunity to enhance its marketing mix. Profitability. Over the next 5 years, the acquisition of a yoga athletic company would contribute to significant growth and profitability for PepsiCo. As the demand for health and wellness product continues to rise, PepsiCo expanded product line and emphasis on health and wellness could enable the company to tap into a growing market and increase its shares of the market. Additionally, the acquisition could provide PepsiCo with opportunities to diversify its product offerings and revenue streams, which could help the company to weather economic downturns and reduce its reliance on just any one product or market. Thank you for watching our presentation, and here's our list of references.